Greetings to all my dear students. This is Dr. Y. Savitri, lecturer in Zoology, Government Degree College for Men, Autonomous Kadapa. Now we are going to discuss one of the important phylum, that is Coelenterata. It is also known as Cnidaria. Why this phylum has two important names means Coelenterata mean the presence of hollow gut in between the body cavities, and also the presence of knitted-like cnidarians. This name is proposed as Cnidaria. When we see the history of Coelenterata, the word Coelenterata was first coined by Aristotle and named as Akalaphe or Nide. In Greek terminology, Akalaphe mean nettle, nidos mean thread, and included these coelenterates under zoophytum. That mean zoon mean animal, phytons mean plants. Together various forms of sponges to ascidians. And later the animal nature of these coelenterates was found out by Pisonel and Trombley in the year 1723 and 1744. Later the famous scientists Linnaeus, Lamarck and Cuvier grouped the Coelenterata under Radiata, which included echinodermates also because of their symmetry. And one more scientist, Hatchek, splitted the Coelenterata into three distinct groups, that is Spongiaria, Cnidaria and Ctenophora. Finally, Leucott in the year 1947 separated the coelenterates from the echinodermates and included a separate phylum, under a separate phylum, that is Coelenterata. According to this scientist, cheilos mean cavity and enteron mean intestine. This Coelenterata includes diversified animals like hydra, jellyfishes, sea corals and also sea anemones. Now we will see the important animals under this Coelenterata phylum. These two are more important animals and also called as connecting links between two distinguished phyla. First one is, you can observe very clearly in this Proterospongia, it consists of coinocytes and also cnidocytes, and it is very similar to protozoans as well as coelenterates. So it is considered as the connecting link between protozoa and porifera. When we see the second animal, that is Ctenoplana, it has the both characters of Coelenterata and Helminthes. These two are the big and long jellyfish, that is Cyanea arctica. It has the radius of 7.5 meters and 120 yards tentacle length. And these two are the important poisonous jellyfishes, that is Chirosalmus and Chironex. Now we are going to see the important characters of Coelenterata. Coelenterates are multicellular and are metazoan animals. The first phylum, which consists of tissue grade of organization, is the Coelenterata. Up to this, you can observe in protozoa as well as in porifera there is no tissues. Only cellular grade of organization is present. For the first time in the Coelenterata itself, sense organs as well as nervous tissue also developed in the Coelenterata. And then all the animals of this Coelenterata phylum are aquatic, mostly marine, and few exceptions are there for aquatic habitat, that is hydra. And these are sedentary or free swimming, some are sedentary and some are colonial. When we see the symmetry of this animal, all animals most probably they exhibit radially or biradially symmetrical with a central gastrovascular community communicating with the exterior by the mouth. There is no anus in this animal. Mouth acts as both anus and ingestion and for egestion. These are diploblastic animals. Diploblastic mean when we see the embryonic development of these animals, only two germinal layers are present, that is ectodermis and endodermis. There is no mesoderm layer in between to this layer. The endoderm is also called as gastrodermis. and in between these two layers, a clear non-cellular gelatinous mesoglea layer is present. This mesoglea layer is very important for the transportation of food materials and also gametes. And one more important character which is exhibited by the coelenterate is called as polymorphism. Polymorphism is a characteristic feature of Coelenterata. In this polymorphism, single animal consists of many types of zooids and they perform various activities like intake of food material, reproduction, protection, etc. And the skeleton system of these coelenterates are exoskeleton and endoskeleton, both are present in these animals. As I told you earlier, these doesn't have any mesoderm layer, so there is no coelomic cavity in these animals. So these animals are considered as acoelomate animals. And the short slender tentacles are present at the mouth region, and this helps in food capturing, ingestion, locomotion and protection. And one more important cells also present in this phylum, that is nematocysts. These serve for food capture and ingestion and also for defense. And these animals are mostly carnivorous. Digestion is extracellular as well as intracellular. Nervous system is very primitive. It doesn't have any axon and dendrites and everything is absent. Only it consists of diffuse type of nerve net. Respiratory, circulatory and excretory systems are wanting, almost all absent. Reproduction is by sexual as well as asexual methods. Asexual reproduction is occurred by budding, whereas sexual reproduction by the formation of gametes. Development is indirect development with a planula larva. And one more important feature of this Coelenterata phylum animals is they exhibit the phenomenon of alternation of generations or metagenesis. It means the sexual polyploid stage or sessile stage is followed by sexual medusa stage. This is called as alternation of generation or metagenesis. Here we can see the clear structure of polyp as well as this medusa. When we see the epidermis layer, this epidermis layer along with the tentacles, these are provided with cnidocytes or nematocytes, and the inner layer is called as gastrodermis. In between these two layers, a clear gelatinous layer is present, and this is a coelenterine cavity or gastrovascular cavity. This is polyp stage and it is sessile and attached to the substratum. It can't move from one place to another place. Here it is a medusa stage. It is also consists of same structure like polyp, but it can be free floating on marine systems. And these two are the examples for polyp and medusa. It is the sea anemone and it is the jellyfish. When we see this feeding habit of these animals, these are carnivorous animals and the nutrition is holozoic. What is meant by holozoic? Mean it can take food substances in the form of solid substances. And I already told you these are carnivorous animals and it can take any type of plant substances as well as animal substances. The tentacles are armed with cnidocytes and this is the unique feature of this Coelenterata animals consisting of these nematocytes. Here we can see the clear structure of cnidocytes. Cnidocytes of various types. Nearly 20 types of cnidocytes are present in Coelenterata animals. Among that, very important type of tentacles are penetrant and valvent types. In penetrant type of cnidocytes, these cnidocytes release a hypnotoxin substance, immediately the animal get paralyzed. This is the structure of nidocyte. It consists of, this is the nidocyte and it is a nidocyle. Before going to the discharge of this nidocyle, it is incorporated in the nidocyte, and whenever the prey approaches to this nidocyte, immediately the filament will be released from the nidocyte and it can coil around the predator. And digestion. The most important structure which is observed in this Coelenterata animals is the digestion. In previous protozoans as well as in poriferans, the digestion is intracellular digestion, whereas in Coelenterata the digestion is intracellular as well as in extracellular digestion. So, it is a baseline for the extracellular digestion. When we see the digestion in higher animals, the digestion is extracellular digestion only, and intracellular digestion occur in the gastrodermis layer of gastroderm cells, whereas extracellular digestion takes place in the gastrovascular cavity. When we see the locomotion of these animals, the medusa can be freely move in aquatic medium and it can swim into long distances, whereas polyps are sessile. Few exceptions are there in this Coelenterata phylum also, that is hydra and sea anemone. You may listen in earlier classes, hydra can move from one place to another place by various methods of locomotion activities like gliding, somersaulting, etc. And sea anemone also glide on the substratum by the help of pedal disc. And for the response in Coelenterata phylum, it consists of different types of sensory cells. The sensory cells also appeared for the first time in Coelenterata animals. And then the sensory cells present in Coelenterata is chemoreceptors. That means it can recognize the chemical nature of the substances. And the second one is the thigmoreceptors. Whenever the prey approaches to the Coelenterata animals, immediately the nidocytes will be discharged and capture that animal. The third one is the photoreceptors and oculi and also statocysts. These statocysts are present in the medusa stage of the Coelenterata animals. Next, we can see the nervous system of Coelenterata here. Here in this hydra, the nervous system is presented as a net-like structure. In this nervous system, neurons doesn't have any peculiar axons. So, it is called as apolar neurons. That means axon is absent. If axon is not there in the neurons, mean the nerve impulse can be transmitted throughout the body of the organism. So, here whenever the stimulus taken from any part of the body, it will be simply distributed to all over the body. Where one important structure is there, the nerve ring is located on the mouth as a ring-like structure. Central nervous system doesn't have any advancement in Coelenterata animals. When we see the reproduction of these animals, Coelenterata animals can exhibit two types of reproductions, that is sexual reproduction as well as asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction by the form of budding. Polyps or medusae, both can generate the birds by asexual method of reproduction, whereas sexual method of reproduction will be taken by release the sperms and eggs. In this Coelenterata animals, some animals are monoecious and some are dioecious, and it consists of free swimming larva, that is planula. When we see the diversification of the Coelenterata animals, this phylum consists of various animals, that is sea anemones, jellyfishes and also hydra. It includes nearly 11,000 species. This classification was given by L.H. Ayman in the year 1940 and divided this Coelenterata phylum into three classes, that is Hydrozoa, Scyphozoa and Anthozoa. This is the clear picture of this phylum Coelenterata classification. This phylum Coelenterata is divided into three classes, that is Hydrozoa, Scyphozoa and Anthozoa. Hydrozoa includes Hydra, Physalia, Velella, Porpita and Halystemma. And Scyphozoa included all types of jellyfishes, and Anthozoa included Gorgonia, Adamsia, Meandrina, Metridium and Madrepora like animals. This is the first class, that is Hydrozoa. According to Greek words, Hydra mean water, Zoan mean animal. These are the examples for Hydrozoa animals, that is Hydra. This is green Hydra and these two are also brown Hydras. And when we see the general characters of these Hydrozoa animals, these are solitary and freshwater animals. Mostly they are adapted to live in colonial habitat and they exhibit tetramerous or polymerous radial symmetry. Body wall consists of an outer epidermis and inner endoderm and is separated by non-cellular mesoglea layer. And the skeleton is horny and it is called as perisarc in some animals, while Caenosarc secretes a skeleton of calcium carbonate forming massive stony structures or corals in order forms. In this class Hydrozoa, they exhibit one of the important feature, that is polymorphism, that consists of various types of zooids, that is polyp and medusa. Medusa is provided with true muscular velum. Many Hydrozoa exhibit alternation of generations or metagenesis. Reproductive products or sex cells are usually ectodermal in origin and discharged externally. Cleavage is holoblastic with a ciliated planula. Examples of these Hydrozoans are Hydra, Obelia, Porpita, Physalia, commonly known as Portuguese manaphor, Velella, it is commonly known as little seal. And the second class is Scyphozoa. In Greek words, skyphos mean cup, zoan mean animal. When we see the structure of these animals, the appearance should be as a cup-like structure or umbrella-like structures. This includes all types of jellyfishes, and these are some of the general characters of these Scyphozoan animals. It includes large jellyfishes or true medusa are exclusively marine. Medusa are large, bell or umbrella shaped without true velum, free swimming or attached by an arboreal stalk. Marginal sense organs are tentaculosis having endodermal statoliths. These statoliths can maintain the equilibrium as we see in higher animals. In human beings also, the equilibrium or balance will be maintained by the inner ear, and polypoid generation is absent or represented by a small polyp. The scyphistoma, which gives rise to medusae by strobilization or transfer fission. Gastrovascular system without stomatium with gastric filaments and may or may not be divided into 4 interradial pockets by septa. Mesoglea is usually cellular. Gonads are endodermal and the sex cells are discharged into the cavity. Examples are Alleria, Cassipia, Rhizostoma, Lucernaria and Periphylla. The third class is the Anthozoans. When we see the structure of these animals are very similar to our flowers. So, the name included the nature of this flowering petals, that is anthos mean flowers, zoan mean animals, are also known as actinozoa. Actin mean race, joven mean animals. It includes all types of sea anemones. These are solitary or colonial, exclusively marine forms. They are exclusively polypoid. Medusaceae is altogether absent in these animals. Body usually cylindrical with hexamerous or octamerous or polymerous biradial or radio-bilateral symmetry. The oral end of the body is expanded radially into an oral disc bearing hollow tentacles surrounding the mouth in the center. And the gastrovascular cavity is divided into compartments by complete, incomplete septa or mesenteries. Mesenteries bear nematocyte at their inner free edges. Skeleton, it consists of exoskeleton as well as endoskeleton also. Exoskeleton is formed from calcium carbonate, often form massive corals. Nervous system is in the form of typical nerve net without a concentrated central nervous system. Gonads are endodermal, develop in mesenteries. The fertilized egg develops into a planula larva, which after a short free life settles down and develops into an adult. The examples for these anthozoa animals are Metridium sea anemone, Adamsia sea anemone, Corallian rubrum, it is also called as Peraceous coral or red color. Gorgonia is sea fan and Penatilla is sea fan. In our academic textbook, they didn't give any ecological role of these Coelenterata animals, but it is a concern of zoologists. I am saying the importance of the Coelenterata also. These are act as predators as well as prey. Neurotoxins in medical research. Corals are more important in jewelry and building reefs for surfing process. Coral reefs are habitat for most of the aquatic animals, and it has great biodiversity in coral reefs and protect the coastline also. And finally, these corals and coral reefs in association with other animals can maintain symbiosis. Thank you one and all.